Now, all right. So sidebar. I'm saying live, but this is actually going to be pre-recorded. So I'm going to pre-record it and all that other shit. What's up, solutionaries? We have a real good, treat for y'all today. Obviously, you guys know that I was at the Solutionary Summit. It's our second year. I was in Miami for, I want to say, about 3 weeks. Drove the RV down, and I spoke to some people because I was going to be in that location for so long. And I reached out to some good folks that we know, Lou Tactical, Reddick Firearms Training, a bunch of folks. And with Lou, I said, yo, man, I gotta get to the hood. I gotta get to where people are, because if I'm gonna be here this long, y'all know how it go. When we do classes, we try to have people from the community to do firearms instruction, ranges, so forth and so on. So Lou introduced me to the brother that's our guest today. The brother legit took me through a lot of the good folks in Miami that's doing the work. So I thought it was very imperative, not only for that reason, but because of the work that he and his squad are doing with urban gardening. I thought it was very important. Oh, this actually is live. Okay. I guess I fucked that up. So I'm going live, y'all. So if y'all got questions, type them in. If you want to do a super chat, the brother's going to explain who he is, what he does with his project of urban gardening. And I'm saying gardening, but that's a bit of an understatement to say the least. But if you guys are coming in, make sure you hit the super chat support. We're going to ask questions. As you all know, keep it respectful. You can ask aggressive questions, but disrespect will not be tolerated. I'm going to block your dumb ass if that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? But without further ado, brother, introduce yourself, your work, and I've come to know you over these last few weeks as a brother that's doing the work in the community. I wanted to make sure that we shared this platform with you about the work that you're doing, but let the people know who you are, what you do, and we're just going to chop it up from there.
Word. What's going on, everybody? My name is David Michael. I am the president of an organization that is called Green Haven Project, which what we do is we teach people in our Black and brown neighborhoods how to grow their own food. And then all the fresh produce that we actively grow, we give it back to the community for free. We don't charge anyone anything as far as to come learn and receive fresh organic fruits and vegetables that is grown on the land within our communities. We also are in schools doing the same thing. We're at churches. We are also at juvenile detention centers, mentoring our incarcerated youth and teaching them how to grow their own food. And then outside of that, we also do a plant-based homeless feeding. We try to do it at least once a month, but of course, with COVID restrictions and so on and so forth, we have to work with the times. So we don't push anybody away. We don't dismiss anyone as far as coming to collect fresh fruits and vegetables from us. If we have canned goods that can be donated, because we have a storage unit where on the land where we can basically, store canned goods and dry food, hygiene, clothing, sneakers, Pampers, et cetera, et cetera. We pretty much have a little bit of everything, where we also give out to those that are basically in need, whether it's people that are houseless or people that are living from check to check, and they just might need a little, bump, to elevate them for a few days or, a couple of weeks. So, yeah, that's pretty much what we do in a nutshell.
So here's the thing. I'm trying to let everybody know, hey, everybody, if you're coming in, please, when you come in, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button, ask questions, all of these different things. Again, super chats are welcome. We support that. All of the money goes towards the work. We're going to take 50% of all of our super chats today, and we're going to donate it to the Green Haven Project. So if you're coming in here and you're about to get some information, because I'm going to be asking all types of questions about gardening, because my green thumb, that shit is brown. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all getting some information, please support the brother. Super chats, questions. and not to be rude, but I want to make sure that we focusing on the super chats, the folks that are doing super chats with the questions. If you got a business, also type the name of the business in the super chat. Also, shoot this link over to your following. Let everybody know, jump in here so they can learn organically, pun intended, during this live, as well as we're going to save this live too. And so I don't want anybody to think I'm being rude. I'm tweeting out for everybody to come in here. So how did you get started in this work, brother? Like what one day made you say, yo, I want to feed the hood? Was it something that you read? Was it something that you noticed? Was it something that happened at a job that you hated? What happened?
Yeah, so in a nutshell, what wound up taking place is I've been a community organizer for over 6 years now, and I started doing this work as, within the community, as far as like feeding the homeless, organizing protests, mentoring youth, so on and so forth. And, I like to do a lot of research as I'm going along with the work that I'm doing. And I saw a Prodigy, rest in peace, I saw a Prodigy interview that he was doing with a therapist. And for anybody who don't know, I'm talking about Prodigy from Mobb Deep, which is a hip hop group, and old school hip hop group, and not that new age shit, but that's another story. And he was talking about, because he had sickle cell, he had to switch up his dietary, because what was on his dietary was making him sick. And then he started doing research pertaining to his own dietary. And then once he started investigating and basically went down the rabbit hole, he noticed that there was a lot of stuff wrong with our food, particularly within the Black and brown community, because if anyone has lived within the Black and brown community, you would automatically know that there is a systematic racism when it comes to the food industry within our neighborhoods. That's why you see corner stores with processed food. You see a lot of liquor stores. You see fast food joints. The supermarket, might be 2-3 miles away from where individuals may live. But then when you go into the grocery store, all the fruits and vegetables is genetically modified, which is, dealing with GMO. And, the company that produces that is Monsanto. If anybody don't know what Monsanto is, what they do, I advise you to look it up whenever you get a chance, because, there's cases on them right now of people spraying herbicides, pesticides and stuff pertaining to, them just trying to make a quick buck. They are banned in 30-something different countries. America is not one of them. So, these things are in our neighborhood. And matter of fact, some of the herbicides and pesticides that they spray on the chemicals, they spray the chemicals that they spray on the vegetables and the fruits, they cause brain damage in children, Right. So it's like, what's going on? Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the tracks, in dominantly white areas, you got your Whole Foods, you got your vegan restaurants, you got your yellow markets and so on and so forth, where you could buy locally grown, fresh, organic food. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to worry about none of that. It might be a little pricey because of capitalism, but for the most part, you have those options,
Right.
So, and for anybody that does not know what that terminology is, it's considered a food desert or food apartheid. You can also look that up too when you get an opportunity. But for the most part, unfortunately, that's what has been going on within our communities. And the brother was talking about that, and I didn't really understand and know what he was talking about. So I decided to, do my own research. Like he said, look it up, and I did that. And when I read it for myself, it pissed me the fuck off. I got mad. I got upset,
Right.
because it's like, damn, here we go. Another, on top of all the other stuff that I've been actively learning, this is a whole nother wave of BS that these people have been doing before we were even born, that has been in place to basically stagnate us when it comes to our health. And it's like, man, no wonder why we have so much high blood pressure, diabetes, so on and so forth. The list goes on, when it comes to our young brothers and sisters dying early from health issues that could have been prevented and easily fixed if they knew better. So, from there, I started, looking into doing, my own thing when it came to growing food. And I got an opportunity to do that at a youth center, through a friend of mine that, basically he was already there doing it and he needed some help. And he was also learning how to do that processing on his own as well. And then, like, I was doing that with me and my vice president, George, for about a year and a half. And then we got an opportunity to go and receive 2 acres from us, for us to grow food. And we just ran with it, and
All right,
in the beginning
wait. So somebody just said, yo, here go 2 acres to get busy. What was the impetus for them doing that? Did you have to like get in the Illuminati? Like,
nah. It was at that point, with the work that I've already been doing, it was kind of like word of mouth. And the people that had the space to do something with it, they couldn't do it. They felt that the neighborhood was, it was a little rough. So, because we talking about the hood now, you know what I'm saying? So they felt it was a little rough. They didn't look like us. And they just felt that it would have been a good fit for me to come in and do my thing, you know what I'm saying? And the way how I do things. Because, of course, we all do stuff differently. So, which is understandable. So I came in and I surveyed the area and I'm like, yo, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to learn today how to do it. And I started teaching myself off of Google and YouTube how to grow your own food, and I just watched. It wasn't really anybody in particularly that I was watching consistently. It was just an overall, as I was going along, whatever I needed assistance with, I looked it up, and I learned from that. And because I had the space to do it on, it was just, everything was just hands-on training,
So your trial and error was in real time. It was pretty much like on-the-job training, but you had the space to, even if it was a mistake or something didn't really pop the way you wanted it to, you already had something in position for it.
Right. And then also, the people around me that were helping had, knowledge on specific things as well. So I learned from them as well too, and then, when I did come across people that were very knowledgeable than me within that process, I just sat there, humbled myself and listened, and when they had opportunities to help, they would help as well too, because at the end, we can't do everything on our own, we do need assistance. So, after a while, we began to bring in volunteers. But prior to that, we knocked on doors within the neighborhood. We spoke to the community that was already there, told them what we were planning on doing and what we were going to do. And if anything that they would have loved to see grown right there in their own backyard, let us know and we'll do it. We'll assist with that. So, at first, it was a little bit, they were, folks are a little skeptical, especially when you're coming in, you talking about, wait, what? You gonna grow food here for free?
Right.
The fuck? You don't want no money. You don't want nothing. It's like, yeah, man, there's 5 people, man. So, a few months passed by. Once folks saw that we weren't playing, you know what I'm saying? They were like, okay, they bought their shit, you know what I'm saying? And then, from there, the children started coming out, and of course, the way I look, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you gotta make stuff look cool. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm out there, and people was receptive to that. You know what I'm saying? And as I'm learning, I'm teaching at the same time too. And I'm letting them know, hey, like it's here. Like your phone could be your best friend or your worst enemy. It's all on what
Yeah.
you put in that phone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's all on what you choose to look at. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of stuff happening in this world, and if you choose to be a solution, you know what I mean? You can be that solution. And if you don't know how to, there's stuff out there that can teach you. Nobody knows what they know just off of what, meditation or whatever. Nah, you had to pick up a book and read. You had to educate yourself on the topic to some degree to where you can make some kind of profession out of it, or feed yourself and your loved ones and your friends and the people that you care about, So
let me ask
you,
what was the first fruit and or vegetable that you ever grew? Like first one. If I'm a beginner, wait, and a double down on that question is, was the first one that you tried to grow or grew, was it something that you tell a complete absolute beginner, yeah, start with this?
Not well, because we had it's kind of like it's a blessing, because we got so much land to play with, as far as within those 2 acres, as far as the space. We grew a variety of things. We were able to grow cherry tomatoes, kale, collard greens, papaya, sweet potato, Seminole squash, some people call it Jamaican squash, eggplant. What else? Onions.
Wait, so this is y'all first go around. Y'all had this whole Thanksgiving table fruit first full of vegetables on the first run.
Yeah. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. So and peppers, so moringa, you know what I mean? As you saw, we had all the moringa trees. That when you were like, yo, it's huge. It's like, yeah, they've been here for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Right. But, it didn't start off that way. That land, it had nothing on it. It was nothing when we got there, and like I said, it does take a process, to make sure your soil is fertilized, because you always want to, for anybody listening, make sure that you do that first. Wherever you're trying to grow at, make sure that the soil is fertile. And how you do that is there is test kits where you can buy in like Home Depot, you can buy offline, and you can test your soil to make sure that your soil is either fertile, or if it has any kind of metals, or if it's acidic, or whatever the case may be. And then there are steps to where you can either remove all that soil. If it is bad, remove all the soil altogether and put fresh soil in there, or hold on, Dave, I support what your shirt. You already know, the porter, baby. But yeah, for the most part, it is a long process, but it can be done. I would say, start using your fruit peels from vegetables as well too, whether banana peels or whatever food compost that you have. Start making a bucket and throw it in the dirt, and that's one best organic way how to fertilize your soil. At the farm we use Brussels sprouts, instead of horse manure or cow manure. That way, because we're in a residential area, when that sun touch it, it doesn't smell as bad, and we don't want the neighbors complaining, so
So the Brussels sprouts act as a natural fertilizer. Is that because why is that? Why is that one more of a natural fertilizer than, I don't know, maybe the banana peels? Even though banana peels would work as a compost, but why do Brussels sprouts work a little bit more?
I can't really explain it. It just has to, like, the way I break it down, I don't know if anybody will understand where I'm coming from, but when it comes to Brussels sprouts, wait, before I start that, the best fertilizer you wouldn't want to use is fish manure,
You do
because
not want to use.
no, the
Okay.
ideal manure to use is fish manure. You know what I'm saying? You would always want to use fish manure if you're growing anything in a large capacity, because it, like, I don't know what's in the manure, but it has a lot of nutritional stuff for the soil. Same thing as
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts. It has a lot of nutritional things in it. You know what I mean? So um like, we use it outside of any other vegetable because of that. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? There's a lot of basic necessities that soil needs that it'll be able to accommodate that once it's like decomposing within the soil,
Okay.
and mixed with it. So yeah, man. Like I
So
said,
question.
I,
So you obviously you in Southern Florida. Y'all in Miami is warmer more than it's cold, right? You
yeah.
guys have a climate is almost like pretty much tropical down there, right? What what is something that someone, let's say myself, I live in Philadelphia. What's something that's as a starter, like a starter kit for if I had a pot, some great soil, what would be the first thing and for me to grow and throw in there and try to get my brown thumb or green thumb?
Well, first and foremost, you would have to look up your climate, you know what I'm saying, and see what, you can grow within the climate as the seasons pass, because
Mm,
everywhere is different. A lot of stuff down here could probably grow, but if you go further north, prime example, like oranges or mangoes, right?
mm,
Mangoes during the summer grow fluently down here, but if you go to like a place like Atlanta, they don't grow mangoes like that up there because of the climate. So
mm.
I would say, first, make sure that wherever you are actively at, if you wanted to do it the organic way, make sure you look at your climate and then move forward from there on what you can grow during that season. Now, if you want to take it the other route, which is creating a green space, a greenhouse or hydroponics, you could do that anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because at that point, it'll cost a little bit more money, but you would have to create your own space and own climate for whatever you're trying to grow, because you would be
Is it
controlling the
possible?
whole atmosphere.
Is it possible to still grow organic in the green space?
Not really, because you're still using chemicals,
Okay.
and you're still controlling the atmosphere. So
Okay.
if one thing goes wrong, you're whatever, depending on what you're trying to grow during that time, can be deteriorated. You know what I'm saying? Versus if you just left it up to the natural element of things, you'll be able to, what I'm saying, make sure that you wouldn't have to worry about anything getting sunlight, or
Yeah.
you know uh maybe a few bugs here and there, but then there's a remedy for that too,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is neem oil, you know what I'm saying, that you spray
What is
on your
that?
stuff. Huh?
What's that called?
Neem oil. So like
Neem
a lot,
oil.
neem oil, yeah. So a lot of people like to put like Roundup and different, chemical based stuff on their plants to get rid of bugs and so on and so forth. But then if you do that, of course, if you spray chemicals on your fruits and vegetables, what do you
Yeah.
think you're going to be eating? Once
Right.
again.
Right.
So what we use is neem oil. We it on the beginning of, like, maybe I'd say before the sun comes up a little bit. That way, it has time to like dry. You don't want to spray in midday if you have an issue with bugs and stuff, because it just dries off quick. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And at that point, you're not really doing anything.
Right. All right.
So
We're gonna take a few questions. It's a bit of a delay between me and you, so I want to make sure that we getting all of those people. Shouts to Josh for the $5 super chat. Again, shouts to Sumi Mumi for the $20 super chat. Shouts to Crystal for the $20 super chat. If you have super chats, please, please, please donate. We're gonna give. Let's get $1,000, y'all. Let's get $1,000 in these super chats. If everybody is in here right now or sees this later, donate some of the money in the super chat. We'll have $1,000. Matter of fact, we're gonna give all of the donations to the Green Haven Project from the super chat. So let's get it to $1,000, guys. While we're talking, y'all are learning stuff, and you get to ask a bunch of questions. Who just asked? Dread Brown just said, okay, so if growing from seed, where's the best place to obtain seeds? Now, Dread Brown, let me be very clear. I asked David the same exact question. I was like, yo, so do you just like go to the store and get them? And he's like, hell no.
Hell no. No. What you want to do, if you're looking for seeds, bro, what you want to do is go to your local nursery, and you're going to have to interrogate their ass. Ask them questions like, where y'all getting y'all seeds from? Is it organic? You know what I'm saying? And you'll know the difference by price. You know what I'm saying? Because the price gonna tell you everything when it comes to them seeds. Because, man, like I said, Monsanto, and not even Monsanto, but like a lot of rich folks, like right now, Bill Gates is the #1 person right now that got so much land, farmland. It's ridiculous. He buying up everything. You know what I'm saying? And they stockpiling it too. You know, they stockpiling everything, including the seeds. So I would say go to your nurseries, your local nurseries, you know, wherever you may be at, and just ask the questions. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. We don't sell no seeds. We don't sell seeds. We have other organizations that specifically deal with that kind of stuff. I'll shout one out right now. Their name is Tree Amigos. Tree Amigos, TREE Migos. They sell seeds. They have their own nursery. Everything is organic. You know, they've donated a gang of stuff to us, you know, and continue to support us and what we're doing, you know. So I would say just, you know, tap in with the locals, because most of the time, wherever you at, there is somebody there that's on point and that are doing that kind of stuff. But we don't sell anything. We're a nonprofit org, and the route that I wanted to do with this project that I have, and everybody else that's part of the group, we as a collective, we felt that, like, you know, when it comes to this kind of stuff, you know, we have to make sure that we're giving more than we're taking, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these spaces that we're already in, they don't have those options. You know, it is a food desert. We're going in there, and everything that surrounds us is BS, you know? And to be honest with you, you know, when it comes to African people in this country, you know, sadly to say, it started with slavery, man. When the slave master gave us bullshit, you know what I'm saying, to eat, you know, and the scraps of rotten meat and all kind of pig feed and pig intestines, and people made chitlins out of it and all kind of foolishness. You know what I'm saying? At that point, it was survival. You know what I'm saying? You had to, you know, eat to survive. You know what I'm saying? And they made with what, you know, was there, and they did that. But it's 2021. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we got to get it together, man. You know, there's a lot of things that's coming. You know, there's a lot of things that's already happened. And if 2020, last year, didn't teach anybody anything, one thing it showed us, and we've been doing the work before then, but what it showed me was I need to get more on point with what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, you can have soldiers all day. You can have a whole army, 200 strong, 100 strong. Guess what? Your ass can't feed them, and you can't feed their family and their loved ones, and so on and so forth. There's gonna be some issues in that camp.
It's a
you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be some issues.
So let me
So
devil's advocate you. What if someone was to say, I've been waiting to say this because reporters ask me this and they'll phrase the question this way a whole lot. And I'm like, nobody fucking says that, but I'm going to say it that way anyway, right?
right.
What if someone says, well, it's not systemic. It's not, it's just we at Whole Foods went to this neighborhood because we think the people in this neighborhood make more money and our prices are higher. What would you say to someone that says it's not really a food desert? The people in that community just want to eat so-called Chinese food and greasy food and KFC. What is the response to someone like that really feels they don't mean no harm, but they really feel like, well, the businesses are going to go where the dollars are at? What do you say to that?
Well, I would tell them to do more research as far as the topic that they're talking of when it comes to systematic racism. There's systematic racism everywhere within this country, whether it's the food, whether it's incarceration, whether it's the health industry, as far as like, with doctors feeling that Black women can take more pain than, their counterparts, so on and so forth. And that's just a little example, people that say that, I call them intellectual idiots. Those are the ones with the intellectual jargon that try to make logic out of nonsense. At the end, even within, Miami, you could see the segregation. Yeah. You could see the segregation all day just by train tracks, one train track,
Yeah.
You go on one side and you see the demographics of one community, and then as soon as you literally cross the tracks, everything completely changes. Colonizing is also a thing, So, but yeah, go ahead.
So when I was there, I ate fruits. I destroyed that okra, by the way, brother. I just want to let you know that okra that I took the first time. I've had food there, fruits and veggies there. I've had food in the ghetto in Miami, like fucked up food that tastes delicious, but it's fucked up. Shouts to Di for the $20 super chat. Right? And I ate at some of the so-called fancy places. The amazing thing to me was how close all of those places were. Literally, I went to this one Peruvian restaurant that literally was like maybe 7 or 8 minutes away from your garden. Like it was like literally right there. And it was all, and this happens in a lot of cities all around the country. That part was like the hipster, like gentrified, like we got some art and some cool paintings. But 3 blocks up.
My bad for cutting you off, but it's not gentrified. Okay. It's colonialism. See, there's a difference. Yeah. So there's a difference between gentrification and colonialism. See, gentrification just means that you're beautifying. There's a group of people that's occupying a space and beautifying it, making it, look good. Because then, in a weird way, technically, that's what we're doing. We're coming into a space. We're beautifying that space where there was nothing there before, and then we are. We're not taking anything away from that space. We're giving more to it, right? Versus colonialism is where they move everybody out, they kick everybody out, and this is ours now. People that don't look like us are now occupying a space where once maybe melanated people and indigenous people were at. Now they're displaced, and now these people that don't look like us are now in this location. Colonialism.
Does food deserts or the lack of food can that be weaponized to make that colonization a lot smoother? Or are the people there, are they going to adapt?
No, most definitely, because most of the supermarkets aren't that most folks within the Black and brown community have to go to ain't even in their neighborhood. It's elsewhere. So they are giving, money. More money is now being pulled. Resources are being pulled out of the community to go elsewhere in order for them, if they wanted to eat healthy or if they wanted to go to a vegan restaurant or whatever the case may be, because that's not in their neighborhood. So imagine a single mother with, maybe 3 kids, right? No vehicle, and she lives in the hood, one of the hoods of America. She works just like everybody else, 40 hours out of the day, children hungry. Oh, there's a McDonald's right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? Versus hopping on the bus and going outside of her community to go get fresh stuff. What do you think she's going to do when she comes home?
Yeah.
She's already tired. Kids, coming home from school, so on and so forth. It is what it is. She going, most of the time, she going to the McDonald's or she going around the corner store, you know what I'm saying, to get something to eat. And these are the little subtle details that on a day-to-day basis that we forget sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And that a lot of people, just like the person that you was just talking about, leave out, you know what I mean? Because in the end, it's like, man, how come that could have that same space could have been something completely different, but these big corporations go into the Black and brown neighborhoods dominantly. If you could take a drive around anywhere you at, you could take a drive around right now and you'll see most of the fast food joints and liquor stores and so on and so forth is in the hood. That shit ain't in them white folks area, because they would not allow that. They would not allow that to be there, because they have power.
Here's another pushback. What can those communities do? Let's say poor communities, right? Poorer communities. What are some of the steps that we can do to push back against that? Is it just boycotting? Is growing enough food? If we're doing urban gardening, can we make this sustainable and scalable enough where we can fight off the colonization, the food deserts, and somehow maintain an economic stronghold on the dollars in our own communities?
So that's a 2-part question. I say yes and no. So yes, if yes, the solution is for us to boycott. Yes, the solution is to for folks to learn how to grow their own food. Only dilemma with that is, in order to grow your own food, you have to have land. You have to own some kind of property. So even if we all came together and said, okay, how much is this? Oh, it's what? 10,000, prime example, or 100,000 to get this property, this acre. All right, I'm gonna put in 5. Somebody else could put in 10, whatever they could put in, whatever they could chip in to come together. You know what I mean? Only problem with that is, not everybody is on the same page. We might be all reading from the same book, but we all on different chapters. Some ain't even read the introduction yet. You know what I'm saying? And that's our problem as of right now in this day and age. We're all not on the same page when we need to be on the same page, because when it's time, everybody else is on point when issues and stuff arise within the community. We're the only ones that push back with each other. Meanwhile, the fuckery is happening. So I saw somebody said container gardening. Yes. Yeah, that is another element too that we would be able to do, like everybody.
What is container gardening and how can it help?
Container gardening is basically the same thing what we're doing, just in a container. You know what I mean? But you cut the top off for sunlight, or you kind of create like a makeshift kind of space to where it's open and like a walkthrough, kind of like a greenhouse, but more organic, if that makes sense.
So you're doing these things. You have this information. You got the volunteers. You have, I came to the spot. The spot is wonderful. I came to one of the spots. There's 5 or 6 now, maybe 6.
Yeah, we have one that is in another neighborhood. We are doing a 8-week program within a foster. Yo, you've been there? Yeah. At the foster, the group home, down in Homestead. We're going to be doing one in a juvenile detention center. And then we have a few that are going to be building churches. We're already in a school. We got 2 more schools coming up. So yeah, it's about 6 to 7 spaces outside.
How were you guys, George, you, everybody, how were you able to make these things happen? I mean, because the argument is like, you can't because blah, 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 blah. Now we know that there's hurdles, cool, but we're going to jump over them. How have you and George been able to jump over these hurdles, and what can people do to assist in, obliterating the hurdles that might come in the future?
We've just been able to stay consistent. I think consistency is key in whatever you're doing. So when, matter of fact, we don't even reach out to anybody. Everybody that all these opportunities came to us. People reached out to us, called us up, and wanting to know, hey, can you guys do what y'all doing in Overtown here? Like, can y'all duplicate that? Because we need that here too, And like I said, I think 2020 opened up a lot of people's eyes to a lot of things that have been happening. I think growing your own food is also one of them. And one way people could help, hey, if you know anybody with some land that want to either lease it or donate it, whatever the case may be, let us know. Shit, you know what I'm saying? We could always use the land, to give back, because that's the first and foremost thing, man. The most important thing, I mean, once you have the land, you could build, and if you build it, they will come. But at that point, if you ain't got the property, if you don't have the land to do it, then hey, like, you ain't got shit. You know what I mean? Right. So I say land.
We're gonna start with container gardens. If you're in urban America and you don't got a bunch of land right now, you got a roof, you got a backyard, you can start there, especially in those summer. Listen, don't tell me about it can't nothing grow, because the summer in Philly is hot as hell. So you could grow something. We're gonna start with the container gardens and move on. Shouts to Trip Simpson for the $10 super chat. Who else had one? Rod Wilson with the $5 super chat. Again, everybody that's coming in, please hit the like, thumbs up, whatever it is on this platform. Comment, share. We're trying to get to $1,000. All of today's super chat donations will be going to the Green Haven Project. Again, if you're just coming in, we're talking to David from the Green Haven Project. They grow organic fruits and vegetables and give them to the people in the areas close to where those urban farms are at. So we chopping it up, asking him a bunch of questions. Fish manure is the primary thing. These are the basic takeaways for people that's just tapping in. If you're starting it, you want to get that fish manure all up in your soil. That's 1. 2, start a small compost with the fruits and veggie skins and peels that you have. 3, you absolutely is not going to go buy seeds from the store. Don't make the same mistake that Maj made and just trying to go to the grocery store and buy the seeds. No, we're not doing that. Go to your local nursery, interrogate them, see who they get their seeds from. Guys that ever sold anything outside, you just chasing the plug. It's the same thing. You chasing the plug and you working your way up. Okay. So that's that. Again, everybody coming in, make sure you share the information, as well as, let people know that this conversation is happening. So in your perfect world, I'm about to buy about 20 acres in Florida, a few hours outside of Miami. Obviously, brother, a couple of them acres, come do y'all thing. Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. What can the average person do with a little budget? Again, we're going to back up a bit. They may not be in a tropical environment, but they're in an urban area. What are some of the basic staples? And let's say it is the Northeast. What are some of the basic staples that they should start with to try to be somewhat sustainable? And then whatever that one is, how can they store it, you know, for when after it's grown and it's harvested, how can they store it so it can last while they're holding on to it while they, you know, eat it?
Word. First and foremost, once again, I say tap in with your local farmers, tap in with your local urban farmers. If there's somebody in that community, because I guarantee you there's somebody everywhere that is doing this work, maybe on a large scale, maybe on a little scale. But I say tap in with, you know, whoever's within that area. And you know, if you're a beginner and you don't really want to go that route because you ain't friendly like that, I would say, you know, start with getting some fresh soil, get a pot. If you got a, you know, a balcony or something, you know, whatever you're trying to grow, you know, make sure it's in season for that. You know, do a little research on your own. You know, just don't listen to people, but do your own research too, because you know, when you do that, you know, another door opens and another door opens, and you might wind up learning as much or more of the person you might be seeking assistance from. So I would say if you have the time, because I understand sometimes we don't have time, you know, we got all this stuff in our life going on. We have things happening, you know what I mean? And we might not have the time to sit down and read or watch a documentary or whatever the case may be. That's understandable. I would just say, you know, just research whatever you're trying to grow and then move forward from there, you know, within the climate that you're in. You know, because like I said, everywhere is different. The weather is different. The air is different. You know what I'm saying? Like, and talk to your plants too. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Sing to your plants.
True?
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes. Yes. Sing to your plants. You know what I'm saying? Talk to your plants. Also look into companion planting, pairing the right plants with them one another. Yep.
What is that? What is so companion planting? That does what? Those pairing of the plants together does what for the actual plants?
It's good for the it's good for the plants when there's stuff that's in union together, because sometimes, just like prime example with weeds, you know, underneath the ground they battle for nutrition. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you always want to organically remove the weeds, because sometimes depending on what kind of weed it is, it might take up the whole area within the plant and actually kill the plant because of the fact that it's stronger than the plant. Weeds move in packs. So, you know, most of the time, if you don't take care of it fast enough, it can kill your plant. But wait,
I'm bugged out.
Because it's alive. It's alive.
What the fuck is a weed? What is a weed? Why is it there? Why are weeds there? Are they there just specifically to kill shit?
No, not necessarily. Prime example, you ever heard of callaloo?
Yes.
Okay, so callaloo, which we have growing in the in the farm, callaloo is considered a weed, but you can but island people eat callaloo. You know what I'm saying? You could, it's like a spinach. You know what I mean? Once you boil it down and you know, you could stir fry it, however you choose to cook it. I mean, it's on you, but yeah, it's considered weed. So some just they're just there. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just something, you know how like you just got that one annoying person. It's like, yo, how the fuck you get here, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but you don't know, but they're there. They just there, you know, sometimes. So, the best way to just remove them, you know, is just organically. I say, if you're growing stuff, don't spray nothing on it. Just do it by hand, you know, and just like you would do with a regular person, you know, because they're living organisms. Without plants, you know, they give off a lot of oxygen, and without them, we really would be dead, you know.
Shouts to Alex M for the $10 super chat. Shouts to Danger UXO for that question or a statement about companion planting, and a $20 super chat. How can people support? Now, we're talking about money. Now, The brothers humble, the brothers for the community. I am about free market enterprise as well as giving to the community. I'm both, right? So I get to say all of the you cheap sons of bastards need to figure out y'all getting all of this good information. And again, if you're going to do a super chat, please do that. All of the today's super chats are going to the Green Haven Project. I'm going to tally them up. I'm going to text the brother. I'm going to shoot him a cash app, right? Right after this conversation. But I want people to be able to also, even outside of the super chat, let's say you don't get paid till Friday. I want people to support the Green Haven Project, which is a nonprofit, which means your deductions or your support is 100% tax deductible. Where can people go to donate and give up green for the information on green?
You can go to www.greenhaven.org. You can also, check us out on, we're also on Cash App. I got to talk to my treasurer about the Cash App, but I believe it's Green Haven Project with the cash sign.
Somebody type the website. Somebody type the website so I can put it on the thing. Somebody type it in the chat.
Yeah, I can type it in the chat.
Greenhavenproject.org, right?
Yeah, greenhavenproject.org.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up quickly, but I gotta ask this, my brother. What do you want to see happen with the Green Haven Project in the next 2 years? Short period of time, but enough time where you're thinking out a bit, right? What do you foresee with the Green Haven Project? What would you like to see happen? Is it a monetary number? Is it in conjunction with this amount of families being fed, this many amount of gardens, or is it, hey, we want to buy 100,000 acres worth of land? What in your mind would be the optimum you would love us to be in a space in the next 2024? Let's say 2024.
Well, my ideal aspect of what you just asked is not only, of course, to monetarily give. Oh, there it is right there. Yep. Yeah. Not only to monetarily, give, back, but also have that income, to where we're able to do more for the community. Because, of course, we got to be good as a nonprofit in order to, expand. And then also expand kind of like what we're doing right now, to have, multiple spaces when it comes to, actively being able to feed these communities on a consistent basis, because, we cannot do it by ourselves. So eventually I know that I'm going to have to look in hiring staff, which would be creating jobs for people that want to do this work, want to give back. Even at the Solutionary Summit, I had one guy say, hey, if you guys have a position for me, I would quit my job today and join you guys. Yeah. You know what I mean? So stuff like that just fuels me to, want to do more, want to give people those opportunities to where they have a job where they actually feel good in doing something for the people, and actively, be there, present for those moments where when people are in need, they can be the ones that person goes to and be still able to pay their jobs. Pay their bills and, take care of their family and so on and so forth, because a lot of people think sometimes like, oh, you can't make money off of this and so on and so forth. And it's like, nah, that's not true. In order to help people, the crew got to be straight. Everybody that's involved got to be okay in order to do that. So for me, though, it's a healthy balance. You know what I mean? Like, prime example, we received the grant, and before we even paid ourselves out, we wound up buying Christmas gifts for all the kids in the neighborhood last year. You know what I'm saying? On our first grant, because 2020 was rough. I spoke to all the parents within a 5-block radius of the garden, and I was like, hey, I know things are rough. You let us know what the children want. You know what I'm saying? If they've been good throughout the year or whatever, we'll buy it. We'll give it to you. You know what I'm saying? And then you give them the presents. Y'all don't gotta pay for nothing. So that's the kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying, that I want to always continue doing, to help, in any positive way that we actively can.
Right. Josh says, can you do a brief chat on zones for planting? For example, I think Philly is zone 7. Great way to get quick info for what plants can grow locally. I think that's talking about like the climate, if I'm reading that right.
Yeah. The zone, yeah. That has to deal with the zone. Because everywhere is different.
Right. Athalia Peterson with the $10 super chat. Somebody type in, say Dave, say the website again, because that Cash App is up there. We're gonna save this live. The Cash App is up there. But I want everyone to go to the website as well as when he says this, I want somebody to type in so I can put it up on the screen. Somebody type the website, which is Greenhaven. Greenhavenproject.org. And I need somebody to type in the Instagram. I need you to give the Instagram so people can follow their Instagram, Twitter, and all of those social media platforms.
Yeah, so on IG, it's green.haven.project. And
somebody type that in.
Once again, it's on IG, it's green.haven.project. On Facebook, it's Greenhaven Project. And that's the only 2 social medias that we actively have right now. And then the website is www.greenhavenproject.org.
For sure. Let me put that up here now. So everybody, here's the Instagram, green.haven.project. I want everybody to go follow. I want everybody to go support. We are going to save this live. We're going to put it on the YouTube channel. As we build this YouTube channel, I think we had like maybe 20,000 something subscribers, but we're going to keep running this. Again, like David said, if last year didn't teach you anything, especially me living in a city, what it taught us was the government will shut down your community and tell you what you can and cannot do. And cool, if you okay with that, then that's fine. But I'm not okay with that. So I think the most important thing is for us to inform ourselves on how we can feed ourselves. In certain scenarios, it gets right back to food, clothing, and shelter real fucking quick. You know what I'm saying? And so the ability to feed yourself and be in your own space and feed yourself, even if that's just, hey, I grew some potatoes. Sweet potatoes that get you through some rough times if you know what I'm saying, if you're hungry enough. So my point is, I want everybody to make sure that you're learning from David, George, the whole team at the Greenhaven Project. I want you to make sure that you're supporting these folks in these efforts. And don't just, ask questions, no doubt. But if you have some land, even if it's in different states, if you have some land, you want to donate it, you want to lease it, please reach out to this organization that's doing amazing work. And I'm telling y'all know when I go to every city, I tell people to, take me to the actual community. David was one of the people, like every day, let's go here. And I was with him. A lot of people that say they do a thing ain't really doing the thing and not really respected in their hood. And so one of the things that I was really, really impressed by was the fact that this brother is actually boots on the ground, doing the work and plugging me with people that's doing other community work all through the city of Miami. And I'm truly appreciative for that, my brother. So I really, really thank you for the work that you're doing. Everybody, Facebook, Greenhaven Project, Instagram, green.haven.project. And anything else that you want to leave the people with, my brother?
Yeah, man. I just want to say, for anybody that's listening out there, please prepare mentally, physically, spiritually. There are a lot of things in this world that is happening right now that is not good. There's a lot of things that is to come that isn't going to be good. I advise you to learn how to grow your own food, learn how to shoot a gun properly, in the correct way, not for the wrong reasons. And, just prep as much as you can regardless wherever you're at. You know, just please. That I don't know what else to say. You know, I love you all. Thank y'all for listening to me, Maj. Salute, brother. You know what I'm saying, for bringing me on your platform and allowing me to have my voice be heard, and what we're actively doing out here and what we are going to continue to do for the people. You know what I mean?
Listen, brother, this is a complete setup. When I get that farm down there, my brother, I'm about to be bothering the hell out of y'all. I'm about to be like, hey, I fucked up on the turnips. What I'm supposed to do?
Yeah, man. We there, bro. We there. You already know, man.
All right. Peace, my brother. I'll talk to you in a bit.
All right. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Yo.